Today we're going to do a little tutorial on how to play Bad Liar by Imagine Dragons. Now, there is a ukulele play-along in the key of F. The original song is in E flat, so it's a full step higher. E flat isn't really a friendly key on the ukulele, so as many of these videos are used for education and teaching, we try to choose more ukulele-friendly keys. And before we begin with that tutorial, I want to do a couple things. First of all, I encourage you to hit the subscribe button, as our channels are not monetized with the play-along videos. One of our best analytics that we use are our subscriber count, and this channel is getting close to 25,000. Feel free to leave a comment, and I'll try to get to it. And then, of course, there's a Patreon page, patreon.com/CJRPHD. That covers my work that I do here on the Ukulele Tenor channel, as well as ukestuff.info, which is my blog/website dealing with ukulele, and techandmusiced.com, where I also write. The other thing I want to talk about is today my instrument of choice is a mainland concert. It has the Aquila Kids Super Nile Gut strings that are colored. Again, blue for A, yellow for E, red for C, and green for G. And this is their matte concert solid wood mahogany ukulele. Very, very nice instrument, and this is one of our schools, but if it were my own, I would probably put fluorocarbon strings on it instead. So let's begin the tutorial. There are 6 chords in this song, but really there are only 4. There are a couple of situations where there is another chord used and just kind of weird, and we'll talk about it. So the first chord that's used is the very standard F chord. It's probably the second or third chord that most people learn. On this particular ukulele, it's the yellow string, but it's the second string first fret, followed by the fourth string second fret, and you put your 2 fingers on there, and that's your F chord. The second chord is D minor, D minor. So that's just like the F chord you just did. So first finger, second string, first fret, second finger goes on the fourth string, second fret, and then the third finger goes in between on the second fret. The next chord is the B flat chord, and this is where a lot of players freak out because it requires a partial bar chord, although some people will play it with a full bar chord. So all you have to do basically is put your finger on strings 1 and 2 close to the first fret, and you press down just hard enough that you don't get a dead sound. And then you come over with the second finger on the third string second fret, and the third finger on the fourth string third fret. It creates a little tiny diagonal there between the yellow string first fret, second and third, like that, except you're leaning that finger down. Now it's important that you pinch the back of the ukulele neck. That's why it's good to keep your thumb behind. That will help you with a bar chord. But that's the B flat chord. Now you can play it as a full bar chord in a similar way, but most people just do the half bar chord. And the fourth and final major chord, no pun intended, there is the C chord, which is the chord that most people use all the time, just the first string, third fret. Now there are 2 special chords used here, and I'll just point out what those are. For some reason, Imagine Dragons added an A chord in there in one of the progressions, and we'll play through it in just a minute, but it's just kind of weird. So here is the A chord. It's just like the F chord, except it just moves 1 string up. So instead of using the second string, use the third string first fret and fourth string second fret. That's the A chord. And then finally, it only happens at the end of the song, and I was actually not sure how I wanted to approach it, but you have a C chord with a suspended fourth. So if you play your C chord, but then add the yellow string for this ukulele, or the second string first fret, you get that suspended C, suspended 4 chord. And you get a nice suspension there, which naturally in music wants to pull down and resolve, and then ultimately wants to go back to F, but the song doesn't do that at the end. The song starts out with not a whole lot going on. I thought about tabbing out the little synthesizer sort of arpeggiated theme that's going on, but I decided just to leave it. as a standard F chord. So as the song starts, it just starts with an F playing. And then I just figured people could strum whatever they want to do in this little intro part. There's not a whole lot of direction, no drum beat, anything else. And the singing starts. So then you've got your F, D minor. Here's that B flat, to the C, then to the F. Now what's interesting is then the song stops, and then it comes back to that F chord. Now if you want to strum differently rather than just all down strums, you can add all sorts of strumming patterns in here if you want. So what I'm doing there is actually down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down. Doesn't matter what you play. There is no right answer because Imagine Dragons did not use a ukulele in it. So let's go to the chorus now, or the pre-chorus, whichever you want to think about it. I've got it marked as single strums this first time because that's what's happening harmonically. Later in the song, that doesn't happen. D minor, B flat, F, then it stops. Now, some kind of other pattern. Down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. So once you have the verse and chorus, that's like 90% of the song or more. Let's flip ahead to the bridge. The bridge kind of goes from B flat to C to A, and that's the surprise chord that you don't expect to hear, and then D minor. Back to C, B flat, and C. And that's how that goes. So the A is not hard in that sequence. It's actually harder to play the B flat in that sequence, but that's just how it goes. So let's try playing it. Here's where it comes. Here's the B flat, to the C, A. It's a weird chord, but makes it interesting. And that B flat lasts for a long time. To the C, then no chord again. So let's look at one last chord. It happens right at the end, and I wasn't quite sure how I wanted to handle this. So the very ending is a D minor to the B flat to the F, which has happened a bunch of times. But then what I hear is there's kind of this suspension at the end, and I'll let you see if you can hear that. So let's play through that. It starts off with a D minor. Then it just stops. So that summarizes Bad Liar by Imagine Dragons in the key of F for GCEA ukulele. So please consider subscribing. Consider Patreon at patreon.com/CJRPhD. And remember, ukulele, it's all about you.